Hey everyone, this is Saurabh Netravalakar here, and I'm part of the USA national cricket team. I've been part of Acharya Prashant's Gita community for the last 2.5 years, and I've learned immensely. On this trip, representing USA at the T20 World Cup, I got an opportunity to catch up with my teacher. And it was a very insightful conversation, and here it is for you.
Your time was quite competitive also. From your own area, Zahir, Agarkar, these guys.
Yeah, I used to be in and out of the side. I played for Mumbai, Ranji Trophy. Under 19, I played for India in 2010 World Cup. Then engineering I was doing 2009 to 13. That was very exactly clashing with my peak under 19 days. Somehow I balanced both and juggled.
In fact, it's an interesting background. Most professional sports persons do not have the kind of academic pedigree you have. So to have managed both is remarkable.
So somehow through the support of my parents who used to help me do my homework in the train and all that, and then my coaches also helped a little bit. But it tested my passion and my love for the game. Engineering time and my 11th and 12th were the hardest years. I was actually prepping for IIT JEE as well. And when the JEE was there, I got picked for the Indian under-19 team. I couldn't give JEE. I played the World Cup.
Cricket or studies, it's passion one or passion two, responsibility one versus responsibility two or love.
If you want to win a tournament, it has to be a team effort. And you don't have to be the hero in every game. You can just do your role to the best of your ability. And essentially, collaboration is mandatory to actually achieve your goal, the ultimate goal.
Individual sport versus a team sport like cricket involves a broadening of the ego boundary. Your time was quite competitive also.
Yes.
From your own area, Zahir, Agarkar, these guys.
Yeah, I used to be in and out of the side. I played for Mumbai, Ranji Trophy. Under 19, I played for India in 2010 World Cup. Then engineering I was doing 2009 to 13. That was very exactly clashing with my peak under 19 days. Somehow I balanced both and juggled.
In fact, it's an interesting background. Most professional sports persons do not have the kind of academic pedigree you have. So to have managed both is remarkable.
So Acharya Ji, my question was essentially, I'm tying down my journey to the teachings now that I can look back to it. So I've always grown up having a deep existential crisis. What's going on in the world? How does the world work? So I naturally gravitated to math and science. And in my community was cricket crazy. So I've always, day night, I used to play cricket in the building. And that's how I grew up with these two loves. And somehow came through the grind, age groups and all that. But in India, both fields are so time demanding. You need to practice 4-5 hours, and then there is the travel time. I grew up in Bombay, so I used to go into the local trains of Mumbai after school and all that. So somehow through the support of my parents who used to help me do my homework in the train and all that, and then my coaches also helped a little bit. But it tested my passion and my love for the game. Engineering time and my 11th and 12th were the hardest years. I was actually prepping for IIT JEE as well. And when the JEE was there, I got picked for the Indian under-19 team. I couldn't give JEE. I played the World Cup. I came and I gave the state entrance exam, and then into the 4 years of engineering again, journaling over 5 hours attendance with the tournaments and all that. Somehow a path treaded, but certain things got lost as well. For example, I didn't have the cushion to spend extended time with friends and family. But still, the true friends that had to stayed. And the teaching that came to mind now that I look back is the Ishavasya Upanishad first slok, where you say Ishavasyam idam sarvam tena tyaktena bhunjita, where if you're fully devoted to the truth shows you some kind of a door and something opens up. So I'm really grateful for that. But I see in India, especially, I've seen both sides. On the engineering side, talented cricketers who, under either the pressure that they won't be able to manage both, they dropped the sport, or guys who are really good in sport, they dropped out of school and they gave their best. But in cricket especially, there's a very low rate of success because there are just a few seats in the Indian team and you don't get grades all the time. And then I see them now struggling to make ends meet. So what's your take on how one should approach it when one loves something, and how do they take that leap of faith? I myself was at least adamant that I had a deep interest in this. I wanted to know more, so that kept me going. What's your take on that?
Sort of, one would like to frame it as an either or kind of dilemma. It's cricket or studies. It's passion one or passion two. Responsibility one versus responsibility two, or love. Responsibility and love. That kind of dilemma is how one would instinctively want to frame it as. But probably it's not that way. Probably there are more than two variables in the equation. We want to believe as if it's between X and Y. Probably there is S, T, U, V, Z, all hiding somewhere and consuming our time, energies, resources, and commitment. And since we are not talking of them, therefore their allocation remains untested, unquestioned, untouched. So let's say out of the 100 units of my life energy, my attention, time, money, everything, all that I may command as a person, out of 100 units of that, there is some 30-40 that goes towards X. And there is a new Y calling me, a beautiful Y, a deserving Y. It would appear that I'll have to allocate resources to Y from the 40 units that I presently allot to X. We do not question where the remaining 60 is going. That's the STUVZ. They sit, they hide, and they very quietly steal our life energy. That's where the pruning is really needed. That's where we need to shine the light. Probably even 60% is an understatement. Maybe more than that is consumed by unseen variables, unknown factors hiding silently in nooks and corners of our consciousness, but nevertheless extracting their share, extracting their amount, and we don't test them. We don't test them. So it's a false dilemma, X versus Y. It's a
Yeah, I
false
agree with
dilemma.
you. I think while you were saying that, I connected it to my current life in US, where I am a full-time software engineer as well at Oracle. Um, so there I optimize in the sense most of our local games are on the weekends. And my training time, what I've done is we've made some life choices where I live very close to work. So if I'm done at 5, I'm home at 5:15 or 5:30. That I have my whole evening to go to the gym or to train. The gym is in the office itself, so I hit the gym there. I take an extended lunch break and do my bowling practice there. So it's not like my work is getting compromised, but I'm finding these other low-hanging fruits
Yes.
where I can sort of squeeze in.
The entire problem in this is psychologically, when we are wasting ourselves, then the register that can note the wastage stands deliberately closed. So the wastage would never be registered. Right? So out of the 100 units, right, we might be misspending or underutilizing, let's say 50, 60, even 70. A lot of people, maybe they are misutilizing even 95. We don't know. But the more efficient ones, I suppose, even they are not really putting themselves optimally to work. The result is we feel as if we are short of resources, energy, time, but we are not. And when a deserving candidate appears, it feels like a dilemma, like a dichotomy. If I go towards X, then Y has to be lost or compromised. Whereas both X and Y can be maintained, entertained, and one can do justice to both, provided one can just edge out the undeserving ones. But we'll never know them, because when we are indulging them, then the register stands closed. So that's the thing to notice. I mean, it's 5 p.m. Does it not happen? One does not even know when the clock struck 7 from 5. And that's a massive wastage. There is so much that could have happened in those 2 hours. I mean, imagine, I don't suppose most people gym beyond 2 hours.
Yeah.
Even end to end, it is within 2 hours, right? But 2 hours can be just loafed away.
Yes.
2 hours, like, one is in a reverie and one does not know. Let's say, it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, but 2 hours of gymming sound like a lot. One has done so much. If 2 hours of gymming mean a lot, then 2 hours have equal value anywhere. Why do we not then acknowledge the wastage that happens when one is lying on the bed? When one is lying on the bed and then it's taking 1.5 hours to finally sleep. 1.5 hours is a lot, and 1.5 hours happening daily. And if you can even compound the wastage, that amounts to a substantial fraction of the life itself.
Yes, definitely.
But one doesn't want to look at it, because that would mean questioning one's idle pleasures.
Yes, yeah.
And we want to call that as personal time or me time, or many things. That's about me. Do I always have to be productive? No, you don't always have to be productive towards others, but you always, yes, all 24 hours have to be responsible and loving towards yourself.
That's true.
You don't have to produce something for others' consumption or social validation, but 24 hours, they all are your life, your time, and you have one single life. So every moment you are accountable at least to one entity, which is yourself. And if we can somehow do that inner accounting a little more rigorously, we'll find that it's not so difficult. A lot of cricketers, for example, would say that even getting into college is impossible.
Yeah.
Along with a professional sporting routine. But you did it, you showed it. And India, then US,
Yes.
and now Oracle,
Yes.
Google.
I work at Oracle. Yes, Oracle.
Oracle. Full time?
Yeah, full time.
Full time student and a full time employee at Oracle.
At Oracle, yeah.
And along with that, cricketing laurels. So it's possible.
It's possible, yeah.
It's possible.
It's possible for sure.
And probably much more is also possible without really compromising on anything.
And yeah, the thing you mentioned, that the personal time or the me time, yes, I did used to feel that I'm losing out on, say, going out on a college trip or friends. But actually, if I look back, the close friends are few, but I know they're there for me. So they are already there. So not like that got affected.
The rule of thumb is, if something valuable or deserving enters your life and displaces away something else, then that something else by definition is undeserving. If something deserving, valuable, important, lovable enters life, and because of that I have to compromise on something else, then I need not regret the loss of that something else, because that something else by definition would be something that couldn't stand the weight of the deserving entrant.
Makes sense. No, I agree. I completely agree. Yeah, so while talking about sports, another couple of questions I had regarded to how sports teaches you a lot of life lessons. So, two questions. So, first question is essentially, as a sportsman, it is a given that you fail more than you succeed. And you have this, so I myself have a routine which I call as you prep, execute, and you reflect. And I see that in the community as well. Like, you prep for your questions, you listen to the session, and then you post your reflections. And that process, essentially, even if you do that to the best of your ability, like you prepare well, you eat well, you train well, still most of the time you might fail on the field. Like you might still lose the game, or you might still get hit. You hardly get 5-wicket hauls in your whole career. The best guys, they would have got 15, 25 wickets haul, or 100 hundreds of the great Sachin sir, but he would have played more than 1,000 games. So that is a fact. So it ties down to the session we had a couple of days back, where we were talking about checking the results of our actions. But I think we shouldn't just check the material statistical outcomes, but the process outcomes, where what did I plan to achieve in the session? Did I actually achieve that? Did I get 1% better every day?
Yes.
And if that is a check and you still get out on a zero, that's still a win for you.
Right. So results are not in binary. Results at the Vyavaharik level, at the level of the practical reality, are always relative to where you stand. So if your mental model, as we were discussing, if your mental model results in improvement over where you have previously been, then the model holds good. Result does not mean it's a binary between victory and defeat. Obviously, you might bowl a beautiful delivery,
Get hit for 6.
and it not only get hit for 6, it beats the batsman, beats the stumps, also beats the wicketkeeper.
Yes, yeah. They say it's too good to edge it. Yeah.
And the batsman gets a 4 because it swung so viciously, even the keeper couldn't gather it. And that's what you get for bowling a beautiful ball. It happens. And rank bad deliveries, sometimes you get a wicket.
You get a wicket on a full toss.
On a full
that happens
toss.
a lot of time, especially in T20.
Yeah. So it's not about a particular outcome relative to other. It is not about whether you could beat the other in the form of the batsman. So yes, it is relative. but not relative to the other out there
Who is uncontrollable.
who is uncontrollable.
Correct.
It is relative to this one. Was this delivery actually better than the one I have previously bowled? Am I a better person? So that's the improvement. That's the result one has to keep an eye on. Am I getting better? Am I getting better? External results, frankly, no one has any control on. Just no control at all. Therefore, makes no sense bothering too much about them. We glorious uncertainty, especially in cricket. You can get out the first ball. So much can happen. I mean, once it's not even something that happens on the field in terms of numbers and stats and performances. You sprain an ankle as a fast bowler, the entire career is gone. Especially fast bowlers, they are prone to all kinds of injuries: shoulder, back, knees, ankles, just everything. So how does one control that? And one did nothing. I mean, one could slip. One could slip. The foot lands wrongly, and the career itself is gone. So it's not about variables outside of oneself. It's about the inner thing. Am I getting better? So I do something, and then I must check whether this is leading genuinely to an inner improvement. Inner improvement in two terms: my own performance relative to myself, relative to my own previous performance. Second, do I feel more fulfilled?
Yeah, the honesty to yourself is important.
Do I feel more fulfilled?
Makes sense. I think, this shift I learned from actually Ricky Ponting, who is my coach in one of the teams that I play for US. They are very process oriented. Like, we have proper data analysts day before the game. We have our plans. If I execute my plans and if I get hit, they don't question anything. They're actually happy. But if I don't do what I planned, that's when you're held accountable. I think that's what I liked about them. It's very process oriented, but it's still objective. It's not inner where you can lie to yourself. So that's what I learned from the day before yesterday's.
So that's the honest way of going about the business of life. One cannot take credit for random outcomes. There was no discipline. One didn't follow the process. One didn't stick to the script, and still one got 3 or 4 wickets. And I don't think that deserves to be celebrated. On the other hand, as you said, the thinking was right, the execution was disciplined, and then one returns without a wicket or even gets hit. I don't think one can be blamed. In fact, one deserves a pat on the back to stand by the discipline of the plan in spite of getting hit. So that, in fact, deserves a longer pat on the back.
I've learned that the hard way. I've been in that case where I've not done well. I got a 5-wicket haul and thought that I did something great, and then next day I get a wake-up call. The sport humbles you soon. So I've learned that. That's been a great
and
learning.
That's the typical way of the ego, doership. Claiming credit where it deserves none, and playing the victim where there was actually no external agency planning deliberate harm.
Correct.
And still playing the victim as if the entire universe has hatched a conspiracy.
I've been in that state as well. So the other question that ties from this is at an individual level we spoke about. Now at a team level. So in team sport, the question is that basically we talk a lot in cricket, like individual brilliance can at best win you a couple of matches here and there. But if you want to win a tournament, it has to be a team effort. And you don't have to be the hero in every game. You can just do your role to the best of your ability. And essentially collaboration is mandatory to actually achieve your goal, the ultimate goal. You might have randomness, like we discovered. You might do individually brilliant here and there. So extending that to two levels. One is at a human level where we see so many conflicts in the world. I think the main reason is because people are trying to have power and do good themselves rather than let good be done. So how can we extrapolate these learnings from sport to a general life level where we learn to collaborate with each other irrespective of our cultural differences and all that?
Lovely. Yeah, great. You see, individual sport versus a team sport like cricket involves a broadening of the ego boundary. I am this body when it comes to tennis. When it comes to tennis, who am I? The I will be defined as this body.
Correct.
When it comes to cricket, the I will be defined as 11 plus 3 plus the support staff and coach and manager and maybe even the larger something. Do you get this? So when it comes to tennis, this I has to win for itself. It has to take care of only this one. When it comes to cricket, this I has to submit itself to the service of the larger I, which is at least the 11 people on the field. Right? So that demands a spiritual discipline as well.
And the captain who commands the ship.
And the captain who commands the ship.
Instructions.
Right, right. So that demands a certain spiritual sense. It's not about me. It's about this collective. Right? The unit is not the individual, but the team. The unit is no more the individual, but the team. In fact, the individual has to give up the I and subsume it to the identity of the team. And this is spiritual. This cannot
I'm remembering Hanuman Ji here. Basically, you're submitting yourself to Ram.
Submitting yourself.
Yeah.
No? It's as if the team is the body. The team is the body, and let's say you are the left arm. You're the left arm. If the left arm starts behaving as if it's a separate individual, then the body will collapse. Because this does something else, the heart does something totally different, the kidneys behave as if they are sovereign, and the whole system gets dysfunctional and just collapses. If you extend the same analogy
to the world, that's what is happening, I guess.
Yes. The individual ego is anyway a myth. But in the day-to-day functioning, it appears to hold some ground, hold some validity. In team sport, therefore, something beyond individual brilliance is needed. In fact, we know of many players who could have had longer careers. Could they display better team spirit?
Team spirit, yes.
Right? We know of them. So they retained their place in the team as long as they were individually very brilliant and indispensable. But the day their career came to a little slant, they were dropped, not necessarily because they were performing badly, but because they were
didn't fit in the team culture.
Didn't fit in the team. They didn't carry the team spirit. We also know of so many matches lost because the players didn't care about the interests of the team. We know of that, and that appears very awkward, and one sees through that.
Yes.
Somebody trying to hit a 6 and getting out, and the 6 is not even needed. The bowler getting angry and bowling short pitch stuff and getting hit for 6. That happened on India's tour to England. Won the first test on the basis of no, not this tour, the one prior to this one. Won the test because of short pitch bowling and got so excited because the pitches were favorable there. We don't get them in India. That they started bowling just too much short pitch stuff and were hit all over the park. And India lost that test and the series as well, 4-1 or 3-1. So if we extend that to the entire planetary community, you see what will happen. I'll have to forget my little self, my little family, my little this, my little that, and forget it not in the sense of compromising it, in terms of realizing that the interests of this one cannot be separated from the interests of everyone. And that's not a moral position to take. That's the reality. That's not a favor one is extending to somebody. One is just being real, because that's the truth.
And it's necessary.
It's necessary. One cannot fight with the truth. One cannot dispute facts. We are a team. We are a team. And the definition of the team has to broaden progressively.